Darren.
So I want to now focus my attention on some of the market reaction to the stronger than expected non-farm payroll report and the dive in bond prices. You know, bonds have been obliterated this year. People are losing a ton of money in bonds, as I predicted last year. A lot of people thought after last year's bloodbath that this would be a good year to own bonds. And I said, no, it's going to be another bad year. In fact, this is going to be the third consecutive down year for bonds. I'm not even sure when that happened last, but it's been an obliteration. I mean, people are going to be down more than 50%, on their bond portfolios, which are supposed to be safe. People are learning a new lesson in safety. But I also think that next year, 2024, will be another down year. I can't see bonds rallying in 2024, given the surge that I expect in inflation. Even if the Fed goes back to QE, I still don't think they're going to be able to stop yields from rising. Now, if they do, if they print so much money that they actually stop Treasury yields from rising, the yield on everything else is going to rise so much more. Because if the Fed is the only buyer of Treasuries because the yields are below inflation, then the yield on every other piece of paper that the Fed is not buying is going to have to reflect reality, which means corporate yields, muni bond yields are going to skyrocket even more. And so that's just going to be a subsidy. The Federal Reserve is going to be allowing the U.S. government to pay lower interest rates. The trade-off is going to be everybody in the private sector has to pay higher interest rates. And of course, that is a huge problem, because if the government is getting to borrow cheap only because the private sector has to pay more, that means we get less real private sector investment. The government crowds out the private sector. The government gets a subsidy paid for by the private sector. And so we have more borrowing to consume by government and less borrowing to produce by the private sector. Again, this is a recipe for disaster. There is no way out of this. If the Fed tries to, go Japanese and print enough money so that the U.S. government can actually afford to pay its interest, it's going to exact a heavy toll on the economy and everybody else in terms of higher inflation and even higher interest rates. But
So, good early evening, 4:53 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Sunday, October 8th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I know it's a Sunday. I know football is on and whatnot. I just got back from my fourth football game of the season. We were 1-2 heading into the game. And I know a lot will ask, but let me say hi to everybody real quick. Darren, welcome in. CJ2 Pilot, AW Tinting, Harvey Boy, good evening. Non-disclosure, Crypto Bob, Codizer, what's going on? Jan, welcome in, love. Tanya, love, welcome in as well. JW in the house. Mark Casson, what a great group we have in here tonight. So, as we can see, XRP sits below the 524 pivot level. That is not the end of the world. Shane, good morning. That is not the end of the world. We are still holding on to the 20-day. We're trying to have a 20 cross through the 50. So what we talked about yesterday is if you come down, you're likely going to have to at least retest the 20-day support in the daily. Drew, good evening. Welcome in, my brother. I appreciate you tuning in greatly. We had to come back down here to the 514. That's the 20-day support. Remember, underneath, we've still got this structure that held through the weekend on a thinly traded weekend, which is very important. We talked about it. If you have any hope, you need to hold this layer on this falling channel. It's like the bear flag setup. You need to stay above this to try. This is the overextension. You would have to get up over 54 cents and then ultimately 55 to invalidate this. Yes, bless, Boom King, good evening. Sean Crothers, my main man from Maine, thank you so much for tuning in. So we'll get into this a little bit more. I just got home not too long ago. It was a 2 o'clock game, but I wanted to do my due diligence and keep everybody in check before I eat dinner. So in the game real quick, we were down 21-0 at halftime. I made a quarterback change. I made wide receiver changes, and I switched the defense up. And we ended up scoring a touchdown, didn't convert, making it 21-6. Then my quarterback that I put to safety got a pick 6, so it made me look fucking brilliant. And then the quarterback I put in threw 2 touchdowns down the game. Tied it 21-21. Or we got up 28-21. They tied it with 10 seconds left. Or 27-21. Stopped them on the extra point. We went to overtime. And the way the overtime works in this league, it's the first time I was in overtime. You get one try each. So you can go for a 1-pointer from the 3 or a 2-point try from the 5. Or the 10, I mean. So I went from the 3. We got the 1-point conversion, had a nice pass. Nice play call, actually. It was a fake run. They bit to the run, and then we had a nice, easy route on the outside. Got the 2-point conversion, or the 1-pointer. The defense went on the field. The other team had 1 shot. And their wide receiver looked like he was going to catch it. It was a very difficult catch. The ball hit the ground. It came incomplete. So we finished off a 21-0 comeback in the second half to win 28-27 in overtime. And we went to 2-2 on the season. So I'm very happy with the way the game went. The team did not argue this week. We were very professional. And the parents were very happy with my coaching decisions. I told them at halftime we were going to win when we were down 21-0. They all started laughing. So don't ever question when somebody sees something unfolding. The only reason we were losing, we had 3 easy drops. It was very windy. Dropped some easy passes. We didn't run the play properly twice to start the game and got a safety on 1 play. So no interceptions this week for the first time all season, and our first pick 6. So all in all, first season coaching these guys. We've got 3 guys that have never played football, and we're off to a 2-2 start. So we got 1 more game. It seems like we've already clinched the playoffs. You only need to be in the top 4 of the league. Right now, we're tied for 2nd. The one team's going to win, obviously, the championship, so we don't even have a chance because they're the cheaters we talked about last week. All the commotion you guys remember from last week, I'm not going to get into it because I didn't even talk about it with my players. Told them let's rise above, and we were much more professional. So in the playoffs, it's going to be a problem. But to be 2-2, I'm very proud. So just a nice lesson in life. I told them at halftime, we're going to show what we're made of. The other team, they know what they're doing, but we've done it to ourselves. I think we're the better team, and I'm just going to make these decisions. I'm going to tell you exactly where I want you guys to play, and it's on me the first half for letting you, kind of predetermine where I was going to play you. I know where you're all best suited to play. I can see it. That's why I'm the coach and you're the player. Sometimes we don't like where we're playing, but we're good at it. So the guy who was quarterback, I told him, you might be the best quarterback, but honestly, you don't have it. You can't. He doesn't understand play development, but I told him, you understand the pocket and you understand defenses. So I said, you play the defense and you know what the quarterback's reaction is going to be. Very first play, we stopped him on the first possession. He did good. The second possession, he has a pick 6. I mean, talk about a coaching move. Tanking the quarterback, throwing him to safety, and he gets a pick 6. The quarterback I bring in throws 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Has some critical 2-point conversions at the end of the game to keep the game in play. The running back was not even the starting running back. I moved him from wide receiver to running back, and he scored 2 long touchdowns. So I told the parents, one parent was mad, but I said, hey, I'm the coach, and not everybody can play every position at once. I'm sorry your son's a hell of a... So they want their son to play wide receiver. I got no problem with that. I guess he played wide receiver and tackle football. He never told me that. He said he wanted to rush the quarterback. Well, it turns out he's a hell of a rusher on the quarterback. Nobody else can do it like him. So I told him in game 2, he said he'd rather just do that. So now all of a sudden, week 4, his dad comes up to me. My son, I thought he was going to play. And I tried to explain it to him. And then he said his son's not going to be there next week. They're on vacation. So, I mean, it is what it is. You can't make everybody happy, but it's my job to put him in the position to win. And you know what? First season, 3 guys have never played together, and we're 2-2 out the gate. And we've been down 21-0 in all 3 games. To put it in perspective, it's incredible just the way this team comes back. Week 1, we came back. We got the ball back, but there was not enough time left, and we only had 1 Hail Mary throw. But we cut it from 24-0 to 24-20. So, and that's the team we played today. So, the other coach wasn't happy, but, Anyhow, so let's get into this. So, we got a little bit of time here. Not long. A little bit of time. If you're watching, I greatly appreciate it. We have 62 people here. 43 people have hit the like. Make sure, like Crypto Scrooge said, make sure you walk him on YouTube as well. He covers solo, XRP Ledger. We talked a little XRP today. Fantastic update this morning, Crypto Solo Scrooge, by the way. I liked your little connection this morning where you were talking about, well, I won't give it away. So make sure you follow him. Tanya, welcome in, my birthday sister. I kid you not, we both share the same birthday on December 17th. I'm just older. She may be wiser, but I'm older. So, Crypto Bob said, Tom residing from digital asset country of the world, UK. I have no idea about American football ever. Super B show and welcome done, or well done. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tanya, for the good job. Sully, welcome in. I seen another comment that just passed by. OMC, good evening. So, with XRP, the main thing I want everybody to know that's watching, this is what we're watching. Inverted head and shoulders where I circled is still intact. And if you don't know what that is, it had a breakdown, created this inverted left shoulder, down to a head, created the right shoulder here and made the W reversal. Now we're trying to find our way up here and hold the pivot point at 524. That could allow us to have a first layer breakout. Now we need 2-layer breakout to get to the rising channel. First layer breakout on a hold at any point of 524 would get you up into this area, top of the actual overall pattern formation. And I know it's a lot to take in, but trust me, these patterns work. And if you put them all together, it will do you well. Marvin, welcome in, buddy. How you doing, my friend? So we're trying to hold this falling channel. And it's disguised within a bull flag, within a bear flag. This would come up. I took it out just for transparency, but I'll put it back so everybody doesn't think I'm crazy. This is the bear flag playing out. Right? Right here. If it was the bear flag and it would have broke down. Or you take it away so it's not so confusing, and you can see the bull flag here. You got the support down here, and it never had to come through. Now that it broke up in here, it's trying to use the bull flag disguised with the bear flag. We've got this inverted head and shoulders here. Until we invalidate this, and first layer would have to be coming back below 49 cents. Until you do that, this pattern's still intact, and we have to remember that. And until this inverted head and shoulders breaks, technically that's a bullish setup. Doesn't matter what the indicators say. It doesn't matter that we're in a bear flag in the longer term. It doesn't matter about the dot cross we once had, because why this is trying to invalidate it if we hold this and don't give back this area. The most important thing is to hold 51 cents. You can't give this back. If you give this back, you could run through and then it might break down. So just stay on the outside here. And if we can use this, this should swing us back around to 53.8, maybe 54 cents. Mind you, we've already had 2 rejections, but what we haven't done on the rejections was come down here and confirm support on the falling channel. So that has to be done. You have to show that support before you're going to move higher up. So we're stuck in here. Remember I told you it could be used as an inside-out wedge? That's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's happening right now. And I still believe a lot of people think we're going to dump, and everybody's saying dump, and everybody's going short. So 2 weeks ago, I said something doesn't smell right when we were in this area, and I said it just doesn't feel right. If I was a bet man, I'd say it comes back up here at least and exhaust 55 cents before a further move down. The problem is now we've exhausted 55 cents. So now it's the question, do we come back? Sorry, I've got to go get this cat some food. I'm going to run inside. This cat is a homeless cat. Somebody burned its eyeball and cut a piece out of its ear. It's probably 11 or 12 years old. They declawed it and they've been abusive to it. So I built a house back here for it. And I got food for it. It came out and needed food. So I'm going to feed it. That's just what I'm going to do. All right, sorry about that. Cost, me and Julie put it together, but we built it a little house. Bought it some stuff. It was like $100, but you know, $100 is not the end of the world. Seeing that cat out here and going through what it had to go through is not cool. Not cool. So, but yeah, the cat's gained probably in the last 3 weeks at least. It's put on at least 3/4 of its normal weight. It was so skinny and bad. It was bad. But now it's in good shape. It's running around. It's awesome. I know it sucks, Anthony. And then I have a baby kitty who started running around here. Somebody just let it go after about 2 weeks. You could tell that it was probably born in a home that was very clean. And but it doesn't know the inside, so it likes to be outside. So that's been my buddy for the last 2 months. I keep telling it, you got to come inside, though, when it gets cold, because you're a very young cat. So, Jeffrey, welcome in. So, you know, just to get through this a little bit more, because I'm going to eat soon, because we're going to eat dinner, but what we're seeing right now is we're still on the top side of this falling channel on this bear flag. So until we fall back in it, we're technically on the bullish side of town. I know we're not above the 524 pivot level. Wow, OMC, that you have a big heart. $20 to buy some cat food from OMC. I will absolutely do that. And I'll actually buy it a little cat treat too, and I'll show you it after I buy it. Next time I'm on the live, I'll show you what you've donated into. I'm gonna buy it a nice little catnip treat too, because it likes them. I'll buy it some hard and soft food from OMC. Thank you so much for that. And anybody wants to donate to support the show, you know, I don't charge for anything. You can always send a YouTube super chat or join Tom's Army. Oh, Johnson, how are you? I did not see the message. Yes, rocking indeed. How awesome is that? You have a parrot rocking and heard how 2 women tortured an African gray to death. Oh, that's so sad. I don't like cruelty to animals. You know, it can be a rat outside, and as long as it's not bothering me, I'll like it as a friend. You know, they can't help what they are. They're not there. They have a job too, just like we do. So, but to do that to a cat, I mean, this cat is so defenseless. It was such a sad, grumpy looking cat. Now it's getting happier. It's getting a lot happier. It came right up to me and it said, I need food. And now it's sitting in its home we built it. I'm so glad I can see it back there. But everybody who's watching, I'm going to update you. It's Sunday. There's 77 people watching. Everybody who knows I started this pot plant. I'm in Michigan. It's legal. I can grow cannabis all around. 12 plants outside. I only have this one and then a small one. But I want to update you real quick because it's probably going to be the last time I'll be able to show you. And it's starting to fall over because it rained and the buds are... I literally topped this thing like... I mean, you guys can see. So here, let me do this real quick. And this is going to take 2 seconds and I'll get back to charts. So, that's one plant. That is one plant. I topped it. It would have been small like this. This one I moved from somewhere else. And you see how these buds are? I was doing a comparison. I moved this from another spot. I dug it out, put it here. This one I topped it a bunch of times. And I've been doing this for years. Now the water, it rained yesterday, so it made all the buds real loose. So I had to put some poles in and sticks to do it. But that is literally that's one plant. So it's doing good. The only other thing I want to show you is my watermelon. You know, I like to show everybody everything. So that's my watermelon right now. He's very small right now. Very small. Won't get a big harvest because I have too big of a watermelon patch. I just want to see how it went. Got this guy here. Got a few other ones because I want to see for next year how they grow. And then I got this one right here, a different kind. I just wanted to see how they grew. I put them around a net. These are potatoes in here, but unfortunately that cat laid on top of them. I'm not going to hold it against it. And then I've got a late squash. A very late squash. So that's... I'm not one to go out. I'm not one to party. I'm not one to do that kind of thing. I just, I like to garden. I like to do stuff on the earth. So, and I like to share with everybody too. Some people will leave because they're going to say, well, what the hell does this have to do with crypto? Well, don't you want to know who's teaching you about crypto? So, that's what I got. And then you see my hat, 1997, just so you can see. That's, well, I'm sure you could see it better if I did this. Hold on. It's a shame that I don't have an updated hat, but Michigan has never, we haven't won a championship since 97, so, a national championship, so I have to wear this hat. Looks good, but it's been too long. So I'm gonna eat soon. I'm really hungry, but I want you guys to understand, as long as this doesn't break, 51 cents is the key right now. If we can somehow, some way, the watermelon and squash will cause white powdery mildew. That makes sense. That makes sense. Thank you for that. And you guys, look, remember the last inverted head and shoulders? I never deleted it the way I drew it in. It happened right here. We came back through, remember them, boom. Look, same setup, right? We can draw parallels from the past. So boom, 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 boom. Now does it come through and then bounce up again? And then it would come up to about right there. Maybe a little bit higher. Boom, 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 up, consolidation, bam. Right? Boom, boom, boom. We need to, bam. Is that where it's going to happen? Maybe up there, maybe around. If it holds this structure, you would expect it to do exactly what the last inverted head and shoulder did. It's a reason why it goes into an inversion pattern. Now this came back down in the accumulation phase, which a lot of times you say after a breakout, you retest the breakout. And if you can hold the consolidation, that would be the true breakout back to the top. So that's what we need to see. Otherwise, this very well could be a left shoulder, head, prototypical head and shoulders pattern. That would bring us right down here, you guessed it, to the 20 uptrend, down at 35.5 cents. Hopefully, this brought you a little bit of enlightenment. Hopefully, you understand what I'm saying. But I need to go. I need to make sure Julie's good. I want to feed everybody. And I've been proud to be here for 22 minutes. 65 people watching, 64 likes. Just understand what we're saying on the chart right there with XRP. And then with Bitcoin, 27,952. I'll say the same thing I said this morning. A lot of people are going short, but we have recrossed. We no longer have a death cross here in Bitcoin. We had a cross through the 50 and the 20, or the 20 crossing the 50 and 200. If we retake the 100 and the price action can hold right around here, 28,000 is where I want it. But if we can somehow close, no worse than 27,700, but try to retake this formation at 27,900 area, especially 28,000, this would be a huge sign of strength. I know it doesn't look bullish. I know everybody's telling us they're going short. I know everybody says it's a bearish time. I'll still say something doesn't smell right. Unless this inverted head and shoulders bust, it does not smell right. It does not feel right. And for that, I can only tell you what I see. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you like my work, make sure you hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel. And I would love to see more people as part of Tom's Army. I would love it. Small percentage here tonight in Tom's Army. Well, not small percentage. Actually, probably about 50%. That's pretty good, actually, now that I think about it. Cross off what I just said. A rather large amount of people in Tom's Army supporting us are in the house today. So consider that if you're looking to trade XRP or your favorite crypto. It's in the video description. If you want to learn anything else about me, just ask in the next live. I appreciate each and every one of you, but I need to go rest my voice, and I'll see you later on tonight. You all bless me so much. You're like my gift. You've all gifted me so much just by being here. You're my gift for my hard work, and I don't say that lightly. I treasure each and every one of you. I really do. Stay blessed, everybody. I'm sorry, my voice is, I can feel it. It's going to go goodbye.